Hi guys, welcome to this edition of RiPA Bites. Now it is supposed to be based around the most haunted debacle of their live investigation on Halloween 2015. But before we start on that, we just want to give our condolences to the family of a friend of ours, Mick Hanslick. It was such a lovely guy, and it's going to be a loss to the locksmith world and the world of magic. So yeah, our thoughts go out with the Hanslick family. Now, RiPA didn't do anything for Halloween 2015, and why was that? It's because so many groups out there are all doing the same thing, and it's difficult. It is difficult. Being a RiPA, we're not your average ghost company, as you know. We want to go out to find out the whys, not give you scare fests. And people on Halloween, they like the scare fests.
As we saw on Most Haunted. Yeah, but it also gave us the opportunity to look at Most Haunted, which I don't normally watch. I only managed half of it. And then so that's basically what we did. Is we'll look at other groups and see how they work and see what they come up with, and analyse their evidence. What we're going to do tonight.
It was nice to kick back and, as he said, watch other people's work.
Let the lesser ones take the floor.
Yeah. But we will be doing something for Friday the 13th, so keep your eyes peeled on the Facebook page for that. So let's move on to the Most Haunted debacle. What a show.
That's what it was. It was a show. It was an entertainment show. Well done for that. It was good in that sense. As a paranormal investigation, oh my god.
And there are a few flaws. Let's go to the highlights and some of the points we'll be speaking about. Check this out, guys.
I swore I would never set foot in this building again. It's the most spine-chilling and evil place I have ever experienced anywhere in the world. Yes, a 3-bedroom semi that could so easily be where you live. And as we pass through the midnight hour on Halloween for the very first time, welcome to Most Haunted Live, a nightmare on East Drive.
So yeah, folks, that was basically the 2.5 hour show in a couple of minutes there.
And as you can see, quite a lot to analyse, quite a lot to go through. So let's start with, which bit should we start?
Let's kick off with the biggest thing, the thing that's got Twitter on fire, Facebook on fire, the whole social media world. It's got to be the rope. I mean, the camera cable. The bit on the stairs.
Yeah, when we see our friend Karl getting dragged upstairs.
Yeah.
And that's it. We'll show you in a minute, but we've also got an explanation from Karl as to what the rope / wire was.
Yeah.
So we'll show you that in a minute as well, and we've got a few other queries with that as well.
Yeah, if you haven't seen his explanation for it, then it is plausible, but we put it to the test and we found out, although it's plausible, if you actually try it out, it doesn't quite work. About how Karl said it. Now, I understand where he's coming from. It is.
So let's look at the incident before Karl's explanation and look at it as we haven't heard that yet. So what we see is Karl coming around the corner of the top stairs here, and you can quite clearly see there is a line there attached to Karl, which goes behind the banister, and then obviously Karl's keeping close to the banister. We can see he's keeping.
It is a strange pose, isn't it?
And he's hunkered down as if he's ready to be dragged back.
He's getting into position and height.
Yeah. So he's bracing himself, ready for a yank.
Yeah.
But also keeping close to the banister as to hide the wire.
Yes.
String, rope, whatever we're calling it, but the
cable.
The cable.
Let's go with the cable.
So in eyes like that looks straight away. That looks. Dodgy.
It looks set up. It looks like it's tied to his behind at some point.
And when he does get pulled, he goes.
Let's go and have a look at. Let's have a look
at that one again, in a bit more detail.
Yeah.
So we'll just show that if you can see, watch how he gets pulled from the middle, from the waist.
So you see how that's happening. There we go. A little bit strange, but let's listen to his explanation for that.
This is for a little thing for everyone of the Most Haunted fans that's asked a question about the live show and the cable that was attached to me. It's not for the Lunatic Fringe, this is actually for the fans who have asked a very sensible question. Throughout the show there was over 2 miles of cables wrapped around from the trucks into the house and around the house to make it all work. This is a similar cable to the ones we use on the show. It's a dark cable. What happens is one part of the cable is attached to the camera and the other part goes into another connection which goes to the truck and gives the pictures. Now what we do is, so we don't jog the camera, is standard practice. You always put the cable, you loop the cable, do it, you loop the cable through your belt. And the reason you loop the cable through your belt is if the camera's on one end here, the camera's on this end, and somebody steps on the cable and pulls it, you feel it at the back here, so you means you can stop. What that does is stop the camera from being jolted. If you didn't have this movement and somebody stepped on the cable, you'd be walking along and the camera would jolt, so you get a shot. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to put this back in now. I'm going to show you the different colour of it in a similar situation. We haven't got the actual stairs and stuff of where we were on the night. Stu, do you want to go down that corridor? I'm going to go through there and have a look. Yep. Okay? Yep. Tell me when you're...
I'm ready.
Right. I had my camera, which I put down, and the cable still attached to me. This is the movement. This was the stairs. I've actually moved to the stairs because I heard a noise. I felt the pull on my cable. So what I've done is gone as far as I can down the stairs. I've had to do to crouch down because of the headroom on the camera at the bottom of the stairs. I didn't quite know where it was, but I assumed that I needed to crouch down, and that was it. Stuart, if you could, can you go night vision with that, and just to show the difference between this cable? This is a dark cable in the daylight. Night vision. What colour is it?
Put that to night vision. White. Okay.
This is now white.
That's white.
Now, just to show you, I've got one other cable here. I'll just take this cable off now. Another cable here, which is a BNC cable, which is another one that at night. What colour is this, Stuart?
It's white.
Just go to day vision.
Okay, hold on.
What colour is it now?
Purple.
Yeah. So we have black, we have purple, we have blue cables, we have orange cables and red cables. A lot of them come up white in infrared. Problem solved. A few people asked why I didn't have the camera in my hand, also on the stairs. The reason I put the camera down because when you cross the infrared lights, there's a camera at the bottom of the stairs looking up. It whites out the camera. So if you look at this, that's what you would have seen, absolutely nothing, because I've got the infrared lights here. So that's why you don't put point one infrared light straight into the lens of a camera holding another. It's kind of...
So there's Karl's explanation.
I believe that's the first time anyone from Most Haunted has given a public explanation on anything that they've done.
But it was quite a big deal.
Yes, it has been, but so some of it are up stuff, but hey ho. So where do we start with that? Yes,
There's
very convincing.
Yeah.
Convincing. He puts a good argument forward.
Yeah, tuck it in your belt, keep it out of the way, so be it.
But then why employ a runner which we've seen there, the guy with the longish hair and the nice coat and everything.
This fella here, you can see him holding the wires.
Yeah, and why employ him to feed and roll up the wires when they're following the cameras around?
First point. Second point, tuck down his belt. If that was true, it would be tucked down his belt throughout the night, and would see it on other people who are using the camera. But
there's another clip here of the guy in the mirror. You can see that. That is clearly not tucked in his belt. The other thing with tucking in his belt, I'm just going to use my little friend here. We'll call her Karl.
We're going to go to the trusty GoPro for this one.
And there's our camera wire. So, yeah, if Karl does say you've got the loop there in the back. For a start, when it's out there, you'd see 2 wires, and we can only see 1 for a start. Okay. Now Karl says he's put his camera on the floor, and the other one that goes to a connection box is on the floor as well. So if he's put his cameras on the floor, that wire is going to be at that angle, not there. You know, is he some sort of magician? He's got that camera suspended in there.
I agree.
So why is that cable still at that angle there if no one's holding it?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing Karl says is on night shot, the cable shows up white. If you look at any clip within the Most Haunted live program, any clip, every cable in there is black.
Yeah, but we do know that some things that are black do show up white on night shot. I mean, we wear black outfits for when we do investigations and whatnot, and these can show up as white as well. But for Karl to use that as an excuse for the cable doesn't quite fit, because as you said throughout most of the show, when you see the cables on the ground, I mean, let's have a look at this clip here as they're going into the bedroom. You can clearly see a camera cable there which is coming up black.
Yeah, I do beg the question, are they using proper night shot? Because you can see every scene there are lights on. They've got lights on in the building, so are they using correct light shots? And when Karl does his test with the night shot, which I believe is with Stuart, I think he's got with him, isn't it? That is done in a light building, so you're using night shot in a light building.
But something that he does say is correct. You can't really point a night shot camera at a night shot camera, because that will give you the flare. But so we'll give him that. But as for the other things, it's a little bit weak, Karl. We need more. So
yeah.
The cable thing, I think it was a setup. I think he was tugged.
Yeah, I think the angle of the cable for a camera that's supposed to be put on the floor is wrong. The night shot doesn't match your night shot in the film, Karl. Sorry. And yeah, it's just, and there's only 1 cable there you can see, not the 2 cables. If it was looped, you'd see 2.
And for a spirit to do that, would it come from behind and pull you, or would it be a push?
Yeah.
I know the theory is that Diane was dragged up the stairs, but
he was also hunkered down ready for it as well.
Yeah, the whole pose was a little bit
back there just
awkward.
to get ready. I know you said you felt the cable tugging in the trousers, but you know, they're tucked in, it would have come out quite easy.
Yeah, and again, the explanation about the cable being tugged into the trousers doesn't quite add up logistically, because if you're holding the camera, then you usually have it over your shoulder or something, not
like we
tucked
said,
down your belt.
They've paid for this well-dressed guy.
Yeah.
Which Alex keeps pointing out about how nice his jacket is.
It does look right.
They've paid for this well-dressed guy to hold the cables for them.
Alex has a fantastic theory about their rigger. Let's hear it.
Well, he doesn't look like a rigger. The way he's dressed, you see anybody working on films or anything, they're not going to be wearing a smart jacket, are they? I'm sorry, but he does not look right for the situation. He just looks like he's just there to make it look interesting that he's carrying a cable. He doesn't look like he's actually... You can't tell somebody who's working with cables would wear a long coat like that. He'd wear something like a normal jacket so he wouldn't get the cable caught. It's his job to constantly feed in and out the cable, isn't he? So why would you wear a coat like that?
Let's shout out to all my film buddies out there. Is he talking sense, or is he just being Clovis?
No, I just think his clothes ain't right. He just don't fit what he does for his job. Why would he be dressed like
Maybe
that?
he's just the best dressed rigger in the business. Do come forward if that was you.
Alex would love to meet you and give you fashion
for the best dressed rigger.
Fashion tips. Yes. So you being your psych, as everyone knows by now, what would the spirit need to do in order to push or pull somebody like what happened there?
He wouldn't. He wouldn't do it in the situation anyhow.
Not even a poltergeist.
No, well, these are just my opinions, because I don't represent whatever, but why would it need to?
Well, the theory is that when the family were living there, Diane was pulled up the stairs. So.
Oh, and I'm meant to believe that, oh, dearie me, oh, look, I'm leaning over a bit to get ready to get pulled. He got pulled. I'm sorry, he got pulled. Nobody did it. There was a guy behind the corner with a rope pulling him. My personal opinion.
When was the last time you got pulled?
That's got nothing to do with anything, really.
Moving on to
the earthly thing pulled him. No spiritual thing pulled him for crap.
So moving on to the next ring of fire is the knife incident. Now, I think this was. It's just so bad. Just so bad. Let's have a look at it.
In next door. I've lost my torch.
I can't get over that table of ours.
How good was that? The table going up.
Yeah, it's nuts. After you guys.
No, that was something else, that table. It stinks.
You alright? You okay?
Okay.
You're not feeling good?
No,
I know what you mean now about...
Whoa, on there. I've just seen a light. What? There's something shining on here. What the... No. I'm going down to see if the light... Can I come with you? Yeah, come with me.
So there you go. He's not going to get no Oscars for that. Let's face it. He's sitting at this before he goes in the room. He's at the sounds table and he's sitting awkwardly. One arm's bending, moving all the way like this. The other arm's just standing there. Now, if you look at the arm carefully, you can see a little dent in it. I'll bring up the picture now. Is that the knife that he stashed? And then he makes his way to the bedroom.
Well, so before we go there, he stands up, doesn't he? And his right arm goes behind his back.
Yeah.
So, hiding something there, are you? Or what? We just got, I don't know. Or you're just checking that cable in your back trousers. I don't know. But the arm goes behind the back. Is that the knife coming down a bit? But then there's the kerfuffle. We see the kerfuffle, the cameras go crazy, we're all going around, we see the black wires on the floor.
Yeah.
And we go through the next room, you see Karl heading into the room.
First. In a hurry. Like, he has to get in there first. But then something strange happens to his arms.
Yeah.
There's sort of a jolting.
And he's in there, his arms are in front. And you can't see his arms.
Yeah, it's like...
So his arms are in front of his body, quite close in front of his body, so you can't see his arms. There's a kind of a jerk movement, I think. And then next thing, the camera follows him, and he turns around.
But that's it, as soon as the camera goes in, he turns around quickly as if, whoa, and straight away the hands come up. Now, fans of Jeremy Karl will know when some people put their hands up, I've got nothing, I haven't done nothing. It's usually a sign of guilt, because they're trying to be open, and force the fact that they're trying to be open.
It's body language, isn't it?
It is
body language every time.
But then, like I said, then the acting starts, then it's got a bit faint. I'm starting to go faint. And like you pointed out, Stuart goes to the foot of the bed.
Yeah.
If you're feeling faint, you'll sit down right on the foot of the bed, which is the closest point to where you're standing. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't. He makes his way to the head of the bed and leans over.
He leans over quite a way, doesn't he?
And all this time, he's staring at that pillow. He's looking straight, or he's throwing it in the dark.
But again, how dark is that room?
How dark? Obviously there's street lights outside. We've got light coming in and everything. And if there is a bit of light, their eyes will be used to the light, so they can see anyway. But he makes his way to the head of the bed and then leans right over. Oh, I feel a bit sick. Faint.
Like the pose on the stairs, he looks unnatural.
Oh, and then he sees a little glint
of a light and goes, whoa. Well, you saw the video. No, it just doesn't gel.
No. But if we rewind all the way back to when the knife went into the box.
Yes.
In Karl's own words, that box has been on that camera for the world to see. Okay? Fair play. It has been, and we're not going to dispute that. It has been on that box for the world to see on that webcam.
With a webcam in that position and a box in that position in front of the loo.
Yeah. So let's rewind back to when that box was put on the table with the knife in it. So if we go all the way back there, we'll see Karl put the knife in the box.
Yep.
And then we don't see that box again. We don't see the top shut, we don't see anything in that box until it ends up on the table about 2 minutes later.
And we don't see Karl.
So what does he do? He's had at least 2 minutes. And he doesn't even have to be sly about it. He's taking that out, he can be juggling with that knife. All he wants is to be off screen. He's not on screen, he's not on camera. We haven't seen that knife go in the box shut and sealed, and put on the table in one shot. It's gone out of shot.
To make it more viable, it would have been knife in the box is shut, carry it to the table, put it down,
You know, and I think it was the resident skeptic said at the end, it is like, what did he say? It was like a TV magic show.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was worse than that, because there wasn't even any sleight of hand. There was no need for it. So, but yeah, and then we know where it's ended up. It's in his sleeve, thrown on the bed. Well done.
And then the knife goes missing.
Oh yeah, the commotion, because they all run downstairs to look at the box, which is empty.
Let's just look for that fucking knife, as Yvette said. But there's this screen capture.
Yeah, I must admit, we first of all thought it was Karl.
Yeah.
But we're looking into it. Obviously, the night shot, he's got different colour trousers on for a start, and the guy's wearing a jacket. So, which rules Karl out. That's not Karl. So,
definitely not
we
Karl.
did say that was you before, Karl. We apologise. We can apologise too. Yeah. So, but what it does look like, it looks like the resident. I don't know the guy's name.
Nor do I.
Resident skeptic. Any help on the floor? No. You're not that important, to be honest. But you can clearly see the shape of a knife down his trousers.
Yeah.
Either that or his missus is a very lucky woman.
I see your point.
Why my flies undone.
Your point is one.
But so,
or could it just be a crease in the trousers and we're looking too deep?
Could be. I don't think so.
So yeah, we'll be interested to know your thoughts on both things.
The knife did end up downstairs, I believe. You know, again, after it went missing, it ended up downstairs. So it was in someone had to take it back downstairs. That's all we say.
He says someone. Could a bit ghost do that?
Why would they bother? Why would they waste their time? Spirit is a far more subtle thing, or spirit or spirits. I just find it sad. I understand a TV program like this is under a lot of pressure to get results. That's obvious.
But, or ratings.
Or ratings, well, yes, it. But while they're arsing around with a stupid knife for all the oops, I'm being pulled rubbish, they could have missed something really happening, something. Could have been subtle, not so obvious. But for them, something could have been going on in that house that they would have totally missed because they were so busy bringing every awful cliche they could have done.
Right, can I just ask one question? We know we assume ghosts have no matter, so they can go through solid objects. Okay. So, and we know poltergeists are known to move solid objects. Supposedly, but can a ghost or a poltergeist of any sort turn a solid object into
invisible matter,
so it can come out of a solid box?
Why would they do it? And I don't know if they could or not.
Is that possible? So what we're saying is that knife, a solid object in a solid box. So can a ghost that's got no matter turn that knife into zero matter?
I have no idea. I can't tell you, to be honest with you. I can only give you my opinion. And I don't see why they would need
make it vanish into thin air. And no, because we've all seen the parodies of ghost shows and that, when there's just a knife floating all over the place or some object floating where the knife, you can see because it's a solid object, but you can't see the ghost.
Yeah.
So it's just a solid object moving. Isn't that how it would look?
That's how you would imagine it.
Yeah.
But that's the problem, is we don't know, because until you get proper footage, until you can actually define what you're actually seeing, you don't know.
But I don't. Yeah.
And most haunted as usual.
There's any way a ghost can turn a solid object into no matter.
Invisible object. But the problem is most haunted went down the typical stereotypic road of a knife. Oh, look, there's a knife. Oh, I'm being pulled. Did they not realise what they're really dealing is a subtle thing? It could be simple things like a curtain could have moved, or a breeze, or even a simple sound. They're so busy going there, clunking their way in. Maybe they should try a more subtle thing, but then again, subtle doesn't sell, does it?
Doesn't make for a good TV show.
No.
Who would sit there for 2.5 hours and watch
waiting for that
curtain move?
That move, or even the most simplest of things. Spirit is not a heavy-handed thing, it's a gentle thing.
But if a curtain did move, we'll be sitting here saying, they check the windows and
exactly,
the breeze.
They've got the window, the breezes, whatever.
At least on this episode, we've got proof of them fucking up.
Yeah. It's just really desperate. It's like, I mean, it's nearly, in my opinion, nearly as bad as when they had Bullet for My Valentine, the rock supposedly had been thrown. Yeah, whatever.
But let's bring this around. Why do we give a fuck? What does it really matter? The show's out there. It says it's for entertainment purposes only. It doesn't really say we're a scientific investigation.
But they have to set that by law.
Yeah.
But they have to now. Now they do.
Will have to set out by law. If you go on any investigation, by law they say this is for entertainment purposes only.
But it is just a show, so why are people getting upset about it? They're not going out to. They're not saying, right now we're going to try and prove that this happens, that happens in a scientific manner. I mean, if we look back to the best one that's ever been was Ghostwatch. It was fantastic, but we all knew it was a setup. We all knew there was something not quite right. But it come across that way. At no point did anyone take it. Well, they did take it seriously, but when it all come out, it was fine. There was no big outcry. But with Most Haunted, this one in particular, why is it causing such a ruckus out there?
Well, like you said, Ghostwatch. You were watching Ghostwatch that night with Most Haunted. It was Ghostwatch. Because believe me, Ghostwatch was a lot more bloody believable.
I don't think you compare Ghostwatch with Most Haunted.
Ghostwatch was more believable than that Most Haunted was. Because with Ghostwatch at one point you thought maybe. With Most Haunted you thought, oh come on. Are you literally bringing every cliche out?
The people that are getting really, really annoyed and upset with this are genuine paranormal researchers. At the end of the day, it's making us look like idiots.
Yeah, nobody will take us seriously anymore because of this.
There's been comments on our Facebook saying, "Oh, well, I bet you wouldn't spend a night in there." Yes, we would.
We tried.
Give us the opportunity, and this is going out to the guy that owns the place as well. Give us the opportunity. We've contacted you before. We've been trying to get something set up in place. We'll come there and we'll do a proper paranormal investigation.
We'll find out the hows and whys, why people experience this.
And we won't throw ourselves through your windows either.
No cables, no knives.
No criminal damage either.
No.
So, yes, it is reputation. You're making us look bad. You're claiming it's real. It's not.
But Most Haunted aren't alone in making this field look bad. There were so many carbon copy groups out there. There were people who are spout up groups and they've got more evidence in 2 weeks than we've got in our 15 years. So are we doing something wrong, or is there something a little bit devious going on here?
What I also think is sad is what a lot of people also forget, maybe for some people it's a belief. It's important to them. It's for some people that's what my defines who I am. My existence is the idea of a spirit of conscience watching over me and taking care, or trying to communicate maybe a past friendship or parent or whatever. And to some people it's not entertainment, it's what they truly believe in, and I just think something like this just cheapens it. But that's, like I say, that's just my opinion, because that's what I'm coming from.
But people who do believe in this have commented, and they believe in what Karl's saying. I mean, as Bungle said, we've got some followers on our page who believe in the Most Haunted and what they put out there, and and they're kind of attacking us when we look at it on a negative thing, and so their belief is there. But
it's a belief that's blinded because they're so close to it. They're not willing to step back for a few seconds and say, "Wait a minute, I mean, to slightly change the subject, I was a conspiracy theorist, totally up to my neck in it. All of that sort of drivel for years, until one day I stood and I said, no, this is crap. And I feel so much better for it. And the problem is, the closer you are to something so much, you refuse sometimes to not see it like I used to with conspiracy theories. This is the same thing. Most of it is a conspiracy because to people it's really happening, and I think, oh, this is happening, maybe, oh, my clock's stopped, or washing machine or whatever. So they're thinking something's happened at home that could be affected by something that's happened, but it's not. But people are buying into it.
So you're saying that a lot of the die-hard fans of Most Haunted are suffering from cognitive dissonance?
Well, they're desperate. They want, because they believe in it so passionately, like I said with my eye. They want to believe it, they're not seeing it with an open eye.
They want to believe, so it doesn't matter what you put in front of them, they're still going to believe what they believe.
It's like conspiracy theory. You can have a UFO on a film and you know there's a fake. You can see it's a fake. But because they believe in it, they will, to the last minute, will keep defending it.
Most of them have got their own followers that will believe it. Like I said, they will believe it. You can walk someone past with a sheet on the camera and they'll believe it's a ghost. And unfortunately, that's what they're going to believe, and we're not going to turn them around.
No.
But the ones that are out there that are questioning it, they're the ones that are thinking, maybe there's something wrong about this. And this is where we come in. This is where we're going to tell you there is. Look into it. Look beyond what you can see, and you'll find everything. You'll see it. It is fake. There's nothing else out there you can say about it.
So basically, jump on board with us at RiPA, and we can help you. Our aim is to help you gain a new perspective. So that was the Most Haunted Halloween 2015 special. It was a show. A lot of people were upset. Does it matter? In some circles, yes, it does. Depending on the belief of the people who are fighting the Most Haunted cause. Thanks for watching, guys. We look forward to hearing your comments, and we'll speak to you soon.
Look forward to hearing from Most Haunted guys as well.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Bye.